Okay, first video for a long time. I've decided to make my own exhaust for several reasons. I don't think there's enough back pressure in the standard. It's not standard, it's a, you can see straight through it. Look, there's no baffling at all, and it is very loud. The noise from that silencer just echoes off the back of the sidecar, and it is too loud, to be fair. Also, this silencer there, when I put the bike away, I have to miss the cylinder head on there and miss the left hand silencer on there. So that's one reason. The noise is the other reason, and I don't, like I said, there's no back pressure. The original system comes down straight into that muffler, and then there's no back pressure whatsoever. So I've got a piece of pipe the same diameter, welded a blanking plug on the end, a little plate. These holes are 2 holes bigger when you add up the diameter than this. I can always experiment, chop a bit off, put a plate on there, but the muffler's going to slip over, straight over this, up to sort of here. So this will be inside the muffler. I'm also going to put some wadding around the inside, take off the 3 pop rivets, put some wad. I think because where that plate, the baffle plate, is at the end of the muffler, it looks like there's a, you can't see it on camera, especially it's too dark there, it looks like there's a tube of gauze going to the narrow part of the inlet of the muffler. So I can wrap some wadding around that to try and damp it down. This, I'm making pie cuts. The welding is absolutely appalling. I don't know if it's, it looks like it's contaminated, or this looks like it's like clinker, or there's gas bubbles in it. I've cleaned it all, it's all clean. It's only tacked, obviously, but I need to fiddle about with my settings. There's only 2 settings I've got on here. All I've got is that setting, which is what Clark recommends for 2 to 3 mil thick material, mild steel, with a 0.08 or a 0.8, whatever it is, wire. The way I worked out the pie cuts, I've got a centerline diameter of 230. This will be the top of the exhaust coming out of the middle of the top exhaust, the middle of the pipe coming out of the cylinder head, and it curves around, and this will be the middle of the pipe going into the, out the back of it towards the muffler. So I halved the centerline diameter to 115 to find the centerline radius, and then with my little protractor, I'm doing this through the camera, so it's, hold on, just look like that, and I'm doing 9-degree cuts, so there's an 18-degree transition, because with pie cuts you either do 4.5 degrees each side or 9 degrees, and because I only want 10, I'm going around 180 degrees. Obviously it's coming out the cylinder head and it's going 180 degrees towards the muffler, so that's 10 bits of pie. If I did 4.5 each side, that would be 20 bits of pie, and the reason I'm doing pie cuts is I want to sort of practice my welding, so I'll definitely get to practice it welding up 20 pie cut. Pardon? Yeah. So shouting, and then that I'm going to make pie cuts to come out of there and go round the front and then join up. So it's going to be a 2-into-1 system. So I'll have a spare muffler. I can bugger about with that and do some bits to that. But yeah, it's not too bad. Also with pie cuts you can sort of adjust them and tweak them and move, you know. I won't be welding it on the bike, although the battery is isolated from that. Isolated that little red sticky out bit. But I'll just put them in place, mark them with a Sharpie, and then take them off, weld it, so I can get it all to line up. And I've got, it's sort of an angle finder. It's a rule with a wonky handle that you can make any angle with it. So I shall put that against the muffler, against that pipe, find out what angle I need to come out, use the chop saw, and that last bit of pipe, I want it as I suppose shallow is the word, as shallow as possible going in, so it's not sort of going, the gases aren't going boof and 90 degrees. I want it to sort of come out, go underneath, and then along and in, so it's at an angle, not, you know, the what is it, less or greater, whatever that is. I want it more that than that. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm not happy with the welding. It is disgusting. But I can't figure out. I've got shielding gas, I've got carbon dioxide and argon. But it just looks all gassy and focus. Look, it's just, and the penetration isn't all that great. You can still see a seam around there. You would if it were bloody focus. Yeah, you can still see the seam there. That one's got a big fisheye in it. Look at that bugger. So I need to. Ideally, I know. That's what I'm saying. I want to do evening classes in welding. I mean, I'd love to be able to TIG, but then with TIG you've got to purge the system. You have to plug one end, purge it with argon. It's a bit of a palaver, but when you see titanium nicely welded pie cuts, they just look beautiful. What else? That's about it. I mean, I don't know if maybe there's too much gas. Look, there's soot coming off of there. I tried turning the gas, but when you turn the gas down, it sounds like there's none coming out at all. So I'll have to I mean, I've got an angle grinder and a flat wheel. Hooray! Makes any weld look great, doesn't it? But as long as I get like proper penetration with it, that's all I'm worried about. And I just want to practice. So yeah, but doing the pie cut, see these lines. I used the seam as one reference point. I got a piece of paper, wrapped it round so it was exactly the right diameter, took it off, folded it, and when you put the crease of the paper against there where you want it, the fold is exactly 180 degrees on the other side. So you mark the pipe there, mark it further down with a straight edge. I've got one line and there's your other line, and all you do is what I did. I watched all this on YouTube. That's my spacing. Oh, that's right. So once you've got your 9 degrees, you've got a 30. It says 132. Ignore that. It's a 32 mil top. The widest point on a pie cut on mine is 32 mil. So with my two lines, I haven't got a spare bit of pipe. You got two lines. You put that's set to 9 degrees. Will it focus? Yeah, that's 9 degrees. So when I sort of crouch down, slide the pipe in there, do a cut with my lines facing me. My line lines up with that. That's exactly the same distance as the lines on the pipe. Do a cut, turn it round so I've got the other line, do a cut, slide it forwards, turn it round, do a cut, turn it round, slide, so they're all the same. Just line that line up with that. I have to clamp it, do a bit of a bob clamp it to the side, because if this thing decides to spit it out, which it has done, I was trying to, these were too long. I guessed I did a real bodge and got my tape measure and ran it round the outside of that before I worked out the centerline radius. Ran a tape measure around it. It was 140 mil, no, 410 mil. So I thought, oh, 410, 10 pie cuts, 41 mil. No, far too big. So I tried shortening these. And once you've got one that's already cut, see, there's your 9 degrees. Once that's already cut and you're trying to shorten it, whew, what a pig. What a pain in the arse that is. I had to sort of put it in this way around with the 9 degrees this way, not this way, this way. Taking this end off, and it just, look at that, you can see where it's grabbed it, spun it round, shot it across the room. Bastard. And I tried clamping it with a bar through the middle of it, you know, sort of to a certain extent, and then clamp the bar to this back plate. No, it wasn't having it. Just sort of ring, off it came, shot across the room. That was one I sort of practiced on earlier. You can still see there's bubbles, and something's not right. Something's not right. It's probably the idiot doing the, well, it's definitely the idiot doing the welding, but yeah, thank God for flat wheels. But all I've got on there is those two settings. Keep jumping about here. Argon, CO2 argon. I don't like this little, this is, or I want to get a proper hobby weld, is it? No, the green. Get a proper cylinder of argon with a proper regulator on it. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Went out the other day, went up across the other side of the river, got shot at. Didn't really. Well, any comments about my welding? I don't care. Any positive ones, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Goodbye.